Hello everybody, I am Hoardergamer, and I hope all of you are doing quite well. I hope this is going to be a good episode. We'll see. This is Hoarder's Comic Flex, in case you haven't seen it before. And we talk about comic books, we talk about toys, sometimes we talk about TV and video games as well. And I'll leave that a mystery for you until we get to that topic, if we do. See, it's not a mystery if I'm like, when we get to that topic. It's got to be, if we do, if it happens. One thing I want to do, real quick shout out before our first review. A friend of mine, Dan Warshko, just put out a new book. And by just, I mean it was available Saturday. Black Hole Bubblegum. I'm going to be doing a review, probably not a full-size review, but a mini review for it next week. And I apologize if Dan's watching. I've been busy working on this show, as well as a few other things I don't want to talk about quite yet. But I've been kind of busy and haven't been able to get back to them. But yeah, other books that Dan has written have been awesome, and I expect this to be no different. I also expect it to be a crazy journey. We'll see when I look at it and give either a small or normal review for it next week. Now, with that important news out of the way, we will go to our first review for the week. That is The Amazing Spider-Man, or as some would call him, Front Page Spider-Man Menace. So, let's start with the previous issue. I had to call my friend, goes by the name of Barry Kirmingham, and ask him some questions involving the X-Men. And yes, you're probably saying, Hoarder, you've reviewed X-Men books. You read that, right? I read like 3 or 4 of the X books. There are like 12. So, the previous episode had Peter invited to the, or issue, I'm sorry. It's so much like a soap opera, I called it an episode. Not in a bad way. It's just that, you know, X-Men, especially the X-Men comic book, is very much like a soap opera. It is so complicated. Anyway, Peter was invited to the Hellfire Gala. And just like last year, there were big doings. There was craziness at the Hellfire Gala. And you find out that Mary Jane's aunt had a terrible disease, and she was using drugs from Krakoa. Because part of the sovereignty that Krakoa got, the mutant island Krakoa, was because they offered miracle drugs to all human beings. Anyway, because Mary Jane Watson's like a famous model and everything, she agreed that she would show up at the gala as a, thank you for getting those drugs for her aunt. When she's there, at some point, a choker, quite literally, is put on her neck or given to her as a gift. And in there is the digital consciousness of a rogue Moira McTaggart. I'm not making this up. I couldn't. And Moira McTaggart basically went rogue, and Xavier and other mutants took her ability away, which was to basically be immortal and live numerous lives and alter the time stream. We found out Moira was a mutant in House of X and Powers of X. Part of the John Hickman X-Men, I don't know if I want to call it story arc or crossover, what you'd want to call that, but it was awesome. And, now she's like a digital consciousness, and there's like a cybernetic body for her. And anyway, Mary Jane has to do what she says, or she's going to kill her by using the choker and actually like choking her to death. And basically it's like she's controlling her and doing all these things with her, and it's insane, okay? What I'm doing right now is setting up the insanity of where the Amazing Spider-Man book is. That cover right there. Gwen Stacy. Gwen Stacy is dead. Okay? Been dead for a long time. That's the progenitor. One of the Eternals, or one of the things the Eternals uses. And it is appearing as loved ones, dead loved ones, to everyone on the planet at the same time, and testing them to see if they're good, if they're worthy. It's insane. So this is basically, as it says, Judgment Day. This is part of that massive story arc. And it's all about Peter trying to be his best self. Hey Cam, how you doing? It's about Peter trying to be his best self, but it's also really great because it's J. Jonah Jameson trying to be his best self. Norman Osborn trying to be his best self. Because everyone was basically alerted on the planet that they were going to be judged within the next 24 hours by the progenitor. Look at what an insane run the last 2 issues of Amazing Spider-Man have been. Like, I mean, I don't even know where to go with it. I like it, don't get me wrong. It's been really strong since it started, but it's such a crazy ride. But yeah, this was good. And you have Peter basically being judged as worthy. And I won't spoil everything for you. It's really interesting to see not Gwen's reactions to things that Peter does in his day, because it's like part of the progenitor's version of Gwen is Gwen and apparently has her memories and things like that, because she completely freaks out when she sees Norman Osborn, which is very interesting. Hey Misplaced, how you doing? But yeah, this is another really good episode of Amazing Spider-Man. I said it again. Another great issue of Amazing Spider-Man. And they restarted the numbering, so this is issue 9. So you only have like... I'm sorry, this is 10. This one's 10. You only have 10 issues to go if you wanted to actually start it up, you know, from where they started a brand new story arc. Also, too, Peter and Mary Jane are basically kind of sort of still friends, mostly estranged. And basically, she says that she can't get back with Peter because of responsibility, which is kind of a slap in Peter's face. That was at issue 9, though. That was a previous issue. But yeah, this is a good book. And someone's holding the Hobgoblin's mask, I believe, in the next cover. So that should be really cool. Doom, how you doing? Doom, you're just reviewing Amazing Spider-Man number 10. And I said, yep, it's good. I wanted to cover it because I think we did issue 1 possibly, and maybe issue 2. And it's good to come back and see where the story arc is going and things like that. But yeah, it was really good, and we are going to remove it. There. That was our first comic book review, everybody. Now, gaming news. Gotham Knights. Did everybody hear about the cameo in Gotham Knights? Someone found an Easter egg. Well, apparently an Easter egg was found of Superboy. And I believe it's Tim Drake standing next to Superboy in like a photograph. And yes, if you want to hit that like button, I'd appreciate it. Here's a flex, everybody, for the hitting that like button. But yes, that was a pretty cool cameo, a neat mention of that. Plus, I see people recently talking about the compendium. There's a compendium coming out, Gotham Knights compendium, and at first it looked like it was going to be like a high-quality art book. But it's also a behind-the-scenes and a strategy guide. So you might want to keep an eye out on that. Amazon does have it for pre-order. It's between $35 or $40. It might even be hardcover, actually. I'm not sure. I pre-ordered it months ago, like as soon as it was announced, because I love strategy guides, and most games do not get them anymore. Occasionally, you'll have a big JRPG like a Final Fantasy come out and get one, but like it's real rare now. Cyberpunk 2077 was one of the last games I know of to have a strategy guide actually released. They had a soft cover and a hardcover. I ended up getting the hardcover for only $12 discounted, so I was happy about that. But yeah, Gotham Knights, still very excited for. And I believe Doom Squad Gaming will be doing some pretty cool things around Gotham Knights. Can't say what any of those things would be, but I think we're all interested in the game. I think we all are rather excited about it. Also, in the Hogwarts Legacy game, apparently there is a unauthorized guide to Hogwarts, and that is what your character supposedly has in game. And the idea is you started late in the season at the school, or the semester, I guess you could say. So you need to catch up. So apparently you have some unauthorized guide that someone gives you. Strategy guides are rare because of the way you can look other people do it and see if it works for you. Yes, and then also too, sadly to say, print. So like magazines, books, all of it. A lot of companies cut back heavily. And I think there's only like one or two companies doing strategy guides, and they may have stopped. Piggy Bank was one of the last ones, I think they were called. Prima was one of them. I don't know if they're still doing it. Piggy Bank did a few for Metal Gear and some other games I know of. Yeah, it's expensive. Also, too, like, those are lovely put together, and they have like a small scheduled time in order to do them, apparently. Most of those guides are like 250, 300, 400 pages. It's insane. But yeah, I was happy to order the compendium for Gotham Knights. I think it's going to be awesome. I'm also looking forward to Ghostbusters Misplaced. Yeah, that's October 18th or October 20th, I think. I don't have the exact date, but yes, I'm very much looking forward to that. You get to create your own Ghostbuster, everybody. I am what you call Twitch and YouTube elderly. I'm 45 years old. I hate to say it, but in November I will be 46. Anyway, I saw Ghostbusters when I was a little kid in the theater. I'm so old. So I was like 8 years old in a theater when I saw Ghostbusters. And at that point, some of it was really scary for me. Like, it was a little bit like a horror movie for my age then. Just like Gremlins, right? Gremlins is this great movie, this holiday classic about consumerism and all this. And like, as a kid, you don't know about the whole consumerism angle. But like, it was scary as a kid. I think our parents were trying to like traumatize us, maybe. T-shirts and stuff I can use on a regular. Well, right now, like GameStop hasn't gotten in any stuff for Gotham Knights yet, like T-shirts or beach towels or thermometers, like nothing, like Is it true you have a copy of the canceled Batwoman? I do not, but I would love to see it. I would love to see it. I'd love to see any of the footage from it. I still can't believe they did that. And now there's rumors that they destroyed the footage. And then someone put some clarity on that. They were like, well, they may have had to destroy the footage, apparently, if they got like taxes back or something for it as a complete loss. Like, okay. Well, that's pretty close, though, to like it being destroyed, misplaced. We don't know exactly what they meant by vaulted. They're not Disney. My guess it's vaulted to never, ever be seen. Maybe if someone else takes over WB and looks at it, maybe. But I don't know. I don't think that's going to be like the first thing that they do. I'll double check. I'll have an update for it next week to see. Because there were like people involved that were freaking out over what they were doing to it. So... like technical people, not it wasn't actors at that point. It was some I don't know if they were effects people or what. I'd have to check. But yes, I would very much like to see it. Any other video games or video game news anyone else is excited about right now? Oh, it's a little bit off the topic of what we cover, but I will say that Mario and the Rabbids, that game, it looks like everything that was great in the first one taken to the next level. And the first one is excellent. That's one of my favorite strategy games. It's really fun and it's quite clever. Okay, everybody, let us talk TV. Let us talk just a little bit about TV. As they call it, the boob tube. She-Hulk. What did everyone think of She-Hulk? And yes, the Callisto Protocol looks amazing. That comes out, I think, first week of December. Yes. I think it comes out right around when Midnight Suns comes out. It's the same week or it's the week after, I think. Let me preface, though, Midnight Suns release of this year, I believe, is just PC, PS5, and Series X. I believe the Xbox One and PS4 versions are next year at some point. There's no date yet, though. House of Dragons, I have not seen it yet. I need to. I'm torn on that. I don't know. I was all excited, and then like something in me was like, I didn't watch it when it premiered. And then I didn't watch the second episode. So I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I feel guilty because I have to finish like Walking Dead or something. I don't know. I got to finish Walking Dead. I got to finish Sandman. Chucky, I guess I'm 2 episodes behind now in Chucky. Chucky's going to be pissed at me. That Charles Lee Ray is going to be upset. I'm like 2 episodes behind on Chucky. First season was awesome, by the way. If you are a fan of those the horror movies, and now I say the horror movies because I'm not talking about the remake. I'm talking about like the original guy. His name's Don Mancini, and what he created with like the first Child's Play, and then other concepts that went out throughout the series. I don't think he directed all the films or wrote all of them, but he's kind of like the big person behind it. I believe he created the character, and the show is awesome. It is basically the follow-up to the 2 direct-to-video movie releases, which were also Don Mancini. So this actually follows the main story arc of Chucky. This is not some spin-off or something. This is where the movies lead to. Chucky is oddly enough on 2 channels. It's on Sci-Fi and I want to say like USA or TBS. No, it's not TBS. It might be USA. Yeah, it's like on 2 channels. For streaming, I want to say it's Paramount, but I don't know if they would get it until the season is done. I don't know how that works with that show. But they should have season 1. It could be NBC Universal or Peacock. I don't know. I'm sorry. Yeah, don't. It's hard to know what streams on what from any given, because like someone could have the rights and then lose them like 6 months later, and it'd be like, with the best intentions, I'd be like, check it out here, and it's not even there anymore. Like HBO Max will have a movie, and then like 3 months later, it's gone, and it's on Stars, or it's on maybe Disney. I don't know. Usually not Disney. Probably a different network. But yeah, I thought She-Hulk was good. I thought the wedding was really funny. Titania. More importantly, the Intelligentsia. Now we can see the big bad is the Intelligentsia, and it seems like what they sent out the Wrecking Crew, and this is where things get interesting. The Intelligentsia, we've actually met a member in the MCU, because Ulysses Klaue was a former member of the Intelligentsia. Also, the Leader. That's the one Marvel villain, like with the big giant freaking head, because he has a big giant freaking brain. And that actor was actually in The Incredible Hulk. Samuel Stearns is, I believe, the character's name. He was a doctor that Banner goes to see what's going on with his whole Hulk transformation and everything. And I believe there's an explosion or something, and he gets like a chemical spilled on him. So that's probably the creation of the Leader. They just never followed it up until like now. So don't be surprised if the Leader shows up in She-Hulk. But yeah, the stuff where like she wasn't able to be She-Hulk at the wedding even though she wanted to be, which is really interesting because remember, she kind of wanted to keep the whole Jen persona. And she was kind of forced to have it going on at the law firm. But now she's really growing to like the She-Hulk persona and how people react to it. So it seems to me like there's going to be a story about Jen trying to see who she is and who She-Hulk is. But yeah, Titania has some of the best dialogue for sure. And I'm pretty certain we're going to get a flashback to how Titania got her powers. And I'm interested to see if they'll do it like they did in the comic book, or if they'll do it differently here. Because they did it differently here for Jen. For Jen, it was basically mobsters that like, I think they ended up, I thought they shot her. But anyway, she needed a blood transfusion, and Bruce Banner, her cousin, did that. While she's like getting better in the hospital, all of a sudden she hulks out. But it's good for her that she does, because those mobsters came to the hospital to basically end her. So a little bit different in the comic. Not a car crash caused by an alien ship. Kind of caused. It was more like they were surprised by it. It wasn't like they were being shot by the ship. It came off as an accident from what I saw. But yeah, for TV, really, that's all I have to talk about. There's nothing else specific for television. So that means we're going to toy around, everybody. It is time for us to toy around. Now, this is going to be a really weird toying around section. So, it's going to be a lot of information and like not a lot of cool pictures like I usually try to do every week, but it's important, and I'll explain why. Don't worry, you don't have to read. I'll read it. 1 second. Sorry. There we go. Yeah, not a lot of pictures this week, but a lot of important information. Marvel. Join Marvel product experts from Hasbro for exciting reveals and announcements during the 2022 Pulsecon Marvel Legends Series panel. This year's panel promises never-before-seen Marvel figures from Hasbro and will feature Hasbro's Ryan Ting, Dan Yoon, and Dwight Stahl, as well as special guests Johnny Gargano and Brian Hoyer as panelists to discuss exciting news around the popular Marvel Legends product line from Hasbro. So, Hasbro Pulsecon, well, I guess we'll just call it Pulsecon, is going to be this weekend. It is, I believe, Friday and Saturday, the 30th and the 1st of September, I believe. This is a yearly convention type thing. I think it's a digital convention. I don't think they're actually physically anywhere that you could go and check the stuff out. I'm not sure. But it's a big thing, and a lot of people like actually join Pulse to participate in this. There's going to be some really cool announcements, things you can pre-order and purchase, some things that will be like gated for an hour or two just for Pulse members. And yeah, what I can tell you from last year is if you're not a Pulse member, unfortunately, you may not get what you're trying to get. I wanted to get a really awesome Zartan. They put one out with color changing. So he goes from like a tan skin to like bluish purple, like the original figure did when you put him in sunlight. So like sunlight actually changes the color of the figure. Plus it came with like 5 or 6 disguises and all this other really cool stuff. Well, according to people that were part of the whole thing, like the part of Pulse last year, it was available even up to the last minute. Within 2 to 3 minutes of it going live for non-members, it was gone. And the cheapest I've seen it now on eBay is like $70, $80. So just one thing to keep in mind. I believe they charge $50 to join Pulse. I don't see a penny from them, so I'm not trying to, get you to join Pulse. But if there's anything you really, really want, you have a much better chance of getting it as being a member of Pulse. But there's other reasons to be excited, right? There's going to be big announcements of cool Marvel Legends stuff coming out, probably all over the course of next year. I'm going to guess till probably at least June of next year they'll have announcements for things, from now till then. And it's going to be really neat. It's going to be really neat. So, that's our first block of text. And yeah, I think it works better if when I'm done talking about something, I just remove it. That's what I've been doing the last 2 or 3 weeks, and I think it's gone well. Now this, I'm even more excited about. Welcome back, Doom. Doom, unfortunately, you've come to not one of the most exciting parts. I'm talking about Pulsecon, the Hasbro convention this weekend, and like new announcements and stuff. But like most of it as of right now is just this text. But again, like I said, you don't have to read it yourself. I'm happy to read it. Indiana Jones. Join members of the Hasbro marketing and design teams as they discuss for the first time the newly announced Indiana Jones product line celebrating the classic films. Attendees will get an in-depth look at the... Okay, so physical people can go, maybe? I thought it was a digital event only. I might be wrong about that then. Look at the products arriving to the line in 2023. So, for just a moment, think of the awesome Indiana Jones movies, okay? Now, think of the Marvel Legends MCU figures. Think of the most recent Star Wars Black Series figures and the amazing facial sculpts using this special video technology. Now, think of those Indiana Jones movies with action figures and incredible detail in the 6-inch scale that look like the actors in the movies. I don't think that has ever truly been done. So I'm really excited about that. And I don't know if it's going to be 3 3/4 inch and 6-inch like Star Wars does. I don't know if there's going to be dioramas. I'm not sure, but it's very exciting. And there's definitely some things from Raiders of the Lost Ark I would be interested in. Things from Last Crusade. That opening scene from Temple of Doom is awesome. So yeah, I'm very interested to see what is coming. Like a week ago, they announced code names for things. Like one was like named Cambridge, which is a college, and Oxford, which is another college. So those could be two different versions of Professor Jones, maybe? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But they all had these interesting code names, and that goes goodbye then. And because I didn't want to just have blocks of text up, I also have this picture right here. And as Arnold would say in Kindergarten Cop, it is not a tumor. But it is a tumor right there. See, so you get all the figures in the Wakanda Forever series, or at least series 1. I'm sure there's some secret toys coming out we don't know of yet. So Okoye, Nakia, Namor. And then we also have the Hatut Zeraze. I'm sure I am mispronouncing that, and I apologize. I have no idea how to say that. And then we have Black Panther. So those are going to be like two, I think, to me, it looks like those will probably be comic related. That's my guess just based on the artwork on them. But yeah, we got Everett Ross here too. And if you get all of these, you build a Tuma right there. So it wasn't just blocks of giant text. I at least had a picture. But yes, a lot of the real hot information is being saved for Pulsecon Friday and Saturday. What am I excited about for Pulsecon? Serpentor. Serpentor with Air Chariot. 6-inch Serpentor. Awesome villain from G.I. Joe. Insane amount of detail on this thing. Don't even want to know what the retail is. But I believe it's exclusive to PulseCon and Hasbro Pulse. But yeah, that's like the thing I'm looking forward to. For San Diego Comic-Con, they had Dr. Mindbender, the most jacked dentist you'll ever see. Just to give you an idea what it's like. And those are G.I. Joe classified figures, which is a line I do collect. At least the villains. As a kid, I used to have like a whole fight between factions. Like it would be Cobra versus the Crimson Guard, which is, you know, Tomax and Zaymot and the dudes in the red outfits. Oh, me too. Me too. This was not planned. I swear to God, this was not planned. But going off of what Misplaced just said, places like perhaps, I don't know, maybe Entertainment Earth, where I am an affiliate. ee.toys/Hoarder. 10% off anything in stock. But yes, this was not planned. You can ask Misplaced. But yeah, I recently became an affiliate with Entertainment Earth, and I've been doing like little like write-ups and promos and stuff for certain things I'm excited by. Yeah, some of the only cool pictures I saw, recent toys, were like Star Wars Christmas figures into 6-inch scale. And they're not bad, but I was like, I don't know. I'm not crazily excited about it. There's a Mandalorian that looks like he's wearing a sweater, a Christmas sweater. That was kind of cute, but not a huge fan. And then like there's this picture I saw of this new Spawn figures. Like, there's Omega Spawn, King Spider Spawn, Plague Spawn, Nightmare Spawn. Those look pretty cool, actually. But, like, I really only have room for, like, 3 or 4 things to actually show. So, I don't want to be so cluttered where you could never see me on screen. And that's not ego. It's just, like, I think it would be more sane just to, you know, see me for most of it. Okay, everybody. So, we have talked about toys. We've talked about comics. In fact, we even reviewed one. We even talked about TV and video games. So now we have to look all the way into the future. All the way to 1 week from today. So, feast your eyes on this. Spider-Man #1 by Dan Slott. Dan Slott is one of my favorite writers, did one of the best runs of She-Hulk, and just recently finished a run on Fantastic Four, and now taking on Spider-Man. With the main, well, I guess you could say Amazing is the main Spider-Man book. This is probably the second main Spider-Man book. And, yeah, Moreland's showing up. And not just Moreland, something scarier and more dangerous than Moreland. Working with Moreland, apparently. They're being very cagey, not saying who or what that is. But yeah, this is exciting, and it's a number issue 1, so this is a good jump-on point, I would say. Especially if you want to see possibly a terrifying new villain. Looks like Ultimate Spider-Man. He does in that picture, yeah. But yeah, I'm excited. I think there's a few different covers. This is the one I was able to get a big version of. But yeah, I'm definitely going to read that. I will probably review that, actually. So we got Spider-Man there. And we've got the mystery of not knowing who this villain is, just that they're incredibly dangerous and frightening. So, bye-bye, Spidey. Next up, we have a facsimile reprint of The Tomb of Dracula, #1, considered one of the best horror comics of the 1970s. This facsimile can be yours for $3.99, which is funny because when it came out, it was probably like a quarter, 20 cents. But, you know, inflation. Anyway, so I mean, it's kind of funny if you look at it, you know. Incredibly 70s artwork, right? And then there, $3.99. But yeah, I've heard it's really good. It's a lot of people talk about The Tomb of Dracula, and this is issue 1. So if you wanted to get a taste of that and see what it's like and everything, I don't know about the Moon Knight timeline. I don't think shows up in anything at this early point, but I could be totally wrong. But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. And with Halloween coming up, I do want to have a bit of a focus on like horror and, you know, just fun, spooky tales for all of us. Like, there's like anthologies of horror stories coming out from Marvel and DC in October. So it's pretty neat. But there, let's put Dracula back in his tombula. And now, children of the 80s. Does anyone know the name of this person? I'm really hoping this book is good. I'm excited by it. I'll tell you in a moment why. Oh, no one knows? This is Adam Bomb. Adam Bomb of the Garbage Pail Kids. Garbage Pail Kids Origins is actually what it sounds like. An Origins comic book of specific Garbage Pail Kids and how they became to be what they're like. Written by the creator of the sitcom The Goldbergs. So I think this could be really neat. Issue 1 featuring Adam Bomb comes out next week. There's a decent chance I'll review this. I can't guarantee it yet because we have some other books to talk about. Future books. But yeah, these were the ones I could get pictures of easily. And we'll explain that whole issue in just one moment. But let's say goodbye to Adam Bomb. Now, DC Comics has not always been on the ball with what books are coming out, even like a week in advance. So 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was frustrated because their website didn't show anything. Like, it didn't show anything even 1 week, from that day, so the Wednesday before, nothing for the upcoming books. And, like, this stuff is set almost, I can't say in stone, since COVID, shipments are all over the place. But, like, books have been able to be pre-ordered for, like, 2-3 months ahead of that time. So they have an idea what books come out. They have an idea. But DC Comics has let me down again. This time they had the names of the books at least, but none of the artwork. And a lot of the search engines do not make it easy to get covers of books, unfortunately. So what I did is I took some pictures, and we're going to mention some of the DC books coming out because they're really good books, and I don't blame the writers and artists behind them for the website not being up to date as it should be. That's just not fair. So we have Poison Ivy number 5, and it's a 6-issue series, and it has been amazing. It is Poison Ivy knowing that she's about to die, and she's deciding if she should take mankind with her, or if she should just basically wilt away to nothingness and let them survive. And it's this awesome road trip that she takes, and the people she meets on it, and it's far more interesting and exciting than I'm setting it up for. It's really, really good. I heard rumors it was going to be good, and it turned out to be awesome. But that's issue 5 of Poison Ivy. Then we have a brand new series, The Joker, the Man Who Stopped Laughing. This is the follow-up series to the Joker comic book series that ended recently with, I want to say, issue 14 or 15. So this is almost like The Joker Volume 2, but it's a different creative team behind it. So this is exciting. I am unfortunately behind on the Joker comic book series, so I wanted to avoid kind of what this would be about, but this should be a pretty awesome book, so I wanted to bring it up. And Batman 128. The Batman story arc has been fantastic, both in Batman and Gotham Knights. I'm saying the game again. Both in Batman and Detective Comics. Both fantastic books currently. Failsafe is the villain, or antagonist, I guess you could say, currently for Batman. And Failsafe is terrifying. And possibly created by an alternate Batman that's perhaps a bit crazy. The most recent issue set up some crazy, insane stuff. And it's been very impressive. Chip Zdarsky's only been writing Batman for like 3 issues, and this has been one of the best arcs I've read in a long time. It's been really, really good. And Ram V is doing Detective Comics, and that's been like a gothic opera. And it's about this terrifying family that's moved to Gotham, and they have like monstrous abilities, and people are like becoming killers. It's been nuts. And as a big Batman fan as I am, I highly recommend both those books. But yes, Batman 128 comes out next week. I wish I could have some awesome covers to show you. But again, the DC Comic website, not up to date. Sad face. Sad face. Now, everybody, I'm not playing a piano. I'm not. I am priming the pump. This is not a ghost piano. I'm priming the pump for suggestions and questions. And Kiki, I did not forget, I'm still going to do a short review for Ms. Marvel and Venom. I did read it. I did have a chance to read it very recently. So I'm priming the pump for suggestions, toys, toy lines you want me to talk about, comics you want me to possibly review and look at. Now, I don't really have the time, especially with the show or on the show, to do like something like, hey, review the entirety of such and such book. But if you suggest a book, like, you know, an issue that's coming out or something, totally, that is doable. Everybody, we have our final book that we are reviewing this week. Action Comics 1047. This is one of the best runs of Action Comics in years. It has been excellent, to say the least. Superman had to leave Earth in the care of his son, Jonathan Kent, and he basically had to go to War World, which is ruled by Mongol. And there are all these people there, like, kidnapped, trapped, that have to fight for their survival. And Superman has been trying to, you know, go against Mongol, fight all these things that Mongol set up and stuff. And now Superman is finally coming back to Earth. And he brought Warworld with him. So Superman shows up with this giant thing, basically almost eclipsing part of the Earth, that is Warworld. And it's all the people that were kidnapped, all like the coerced people, not the villains. He's not like bringing Mongol over to take over Earth. He's not a bad guy. But like that's made people really apprehensive and worried, including Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor, not too big on aliens. He's not a fan. Never has been. So, he teams up with John Corbin, also known as Metallo. But Metallo, I don't know all the details, is like in a sorry state. Broken down, pieces missing, eye drooping out and hanging out. Because remember, he looks like a cyborg. And Luthor offers him a chance to become very powerful again if he'll work with him against Superman and these aliens. It was very good. It was very good. The side story is all about the heroes of Earth finding that Superman's returned and basically welcoming him, but then also finding out that there's some villains from Mongols, assassins or something like that, that have also coming to Earth, or are also here. So, very good. Very good. Currently, it's one of the best books out there. If you're a fan of Superman, definitely be reading Action Comics. I've been very much liking the series. But yeah, it's very good. Also, we're on the march to issue 1050. And that's going to be like a big event. Like something really big is going to happen in issue 1050. But yeah, here's 1047 right here. So we reviewed Amazing Spider-Man 10, which was really good. We reviewed, well, just now we did, Action Comics 1047, which was excellent. It was excellent. Also, the artwork was gorgeous. Artwork. I don't have, unfortunately, the name of the artist in front of me, but yeah, the artwork was also gorgeous in that book. Now that the pump has been primed, are there any suggestions? Any comics you want me to review? Any toy lines you want me to talk about? Any questions on toys or comics? I did find out the big comic book thing for Marvel in December is Dark Web. Dark Web. That was in the newest issue of Previews, which is kind of like a catalog that lets you order comics 2 months before they come out. But that's kind of a big thing there. Oh, real minor Gotham Knights news. The next piece of DLC for Gotham Knights Gilded City, the comic book series, this will be for issue 3, are tonfas for Batgirl. So it's special skins for the weapons that Batgirl uses that you can only get by buying that comic book. And it's exciting because they got a really talented writer to do this book, Evan Narcisse. Evan's worked on Black Panther, as well as the Black Panther expansion on Marvel's Avengers. I believe, let's see, Evan's doing something else too. I can't remember what it is. But yeah, Evan's really good, and I'm excited about Gotham Knights Gilded City. And I believe they named the virus the Golden Eye Virus or something. Something like that. Golden Pupil Virus. So it sounds like people's eyes have like a golden color or something. And they're not acting correctly. They are, I guess, violent and stuff. It's like a prequel to the events of Gotham Knights the game. And it also goes all the way back to the 1800s with a character called the Runaway. So I'm excited for that. First issue comes out just a few days after the game, October 25th. But yeah, I just remembered that they showed a picture of the DLC. So right now we know there's issue 1 is a bike skin for the Bat Bike. Issue 2 is Nightwing's Eskrima sticks. Special like skins for his Eskrima sticks. And now issue 3 is Batgirl's tonfas. So it's very possible we'll get skins for Red Hood's guns. And then maybe a skin for Robin's, is that a bow staff? I'm not sure exactly what kind of staff he has. That's what it seems to be. And then when you get all the issues, somehow they know that or whatever, and you're able to get a like a 7th piece of DLC, because I think it's a 6-issue series. Yeah, I think it's really cool. I think it's cool what they're doing. And like I said, I'm excited because Evan Narcisse is a good writer. In the past, I will not name names. I'm not going to do that. But there have been times where there have been tie-in comics where they've just been like sort of okay. They've been like, oh, okay. You know, that's pretty good. But all that really changed with Injustice. The Injustice comic book was really high quality. Some people liked it more than the game series. That's how good it was. Yeah. Since that happened, they've gotten some of the best writers and artists to work on the tie-in or spin-off books like this. And it's been really cool. I will ask one final time, any suggestions this week? I might do that Garbage Pail Kids Origin. I might review that. I'm definitely going to read it. I might review that. I'm not sure yet. Really leaning on that Spider-Man 1 now. Pretty sure I'm going to read that. I'm so tempted to read that Joker book, but I'm so behind. I'm so behind. Okay, I do not see any suggestions, but I want to thank all of you very, very much for watching. And I would like to thank Doomkiller HD and Doom Squad Gaming for letting me borrow your channel. Thank you very much. I will have a new show next week, another episode, 8 p.m. Central. Same bat time, same bat channel. Also, you can currently watch me. I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Hoardergamer. That's currently where I am. Well, not at this moment. I'm right here with you, and you're watching this. I can't be in more than one place at a time. So, but yeah, I do stream there. And yeah, I want to thank you all very much for watching. And let's see. Do we have someone hosting the block party on Friday? Last I checked, I didn't see if anyone was like, I'm taking it. Because I believe there was someone who had it, and they aren't able to. Do we have an update on that? I always like to bring it up here if I can. I may not be able to, because I don't see anything yet. Give me 1 second, everybody. I appreciate your patience. I'm just seeing if there's anything about the block party. Doom Squad Gaming, we do a block party roughly I think it's every 2 weeks, usually on Friday. And we invite people to play games with us. I apologize. I don't know if it was actually... Well, Misplaced, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, I didn't see anything on the page, so... But thank you, Misplaced. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And yeah, I'll see you here. I'll do an actual real flex because it's Hoarder's Comic Flex, and I had the sleeve down, and that's probably not good enough. So thank you very much, and I will see you next week at again 8 p.m. Central. Have a good one, and bye bye.